Hello.
Hi. Hello, hello.
So
Hello,
to
Goran. Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello. So today we have Ines with us, who has done one really, really amazing thing. So I would like for her to introduce herself and let everybody know what is in the making and what we are going to be talking about today.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ines Tričković, and I have been a tarot reader for the past 16 years. I've been investigating tarot a very long time. It's been my personal guide, and I have my own tarot school. And it's basically a way of living and the way how I lead myself and try to also help others to lead themselves through life to achieve their greatest strength and purpose and joy if possible. And I also want to just mention quickly my full-time job, which is not actually a job, it's a calling, is jazz singing. And I've been a professional jazz singer for the past 22 years, almost 23 years, with a quite a decent international career around the world. But tarot has been always by my side and also my guide through that in a way. So I like to say that I'm a jazz vocalist and tarot reader.
Mhm. Well, there's quite a substantial career behind you in both fields. I mean, 16 years in tarot
Mm-hmm.
is not a small thing.
Yeah.
I've
And
only,
back then, when I started, was quite also a challenge because of getting the information, getting the books, ordering the books, finding the books or manuscripts, and investigating, getting the cards and these kind of things, because internet back then was not really a thing. So all the information that you could get was from books or ancient manuscripts. So it was quite a challenge back then to get the right
yeah,
information.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very, well, vastly different right now because
Mm,
everything is readily available on the internet. So, but it
yes.
makes the entire journey a bit more fun, I guess, because
Oh,
you really have to go deep diving to find certain information.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was totally different. Honestly, totally different. And I'm not I like futurism, you know. I'm not one of those people that only love, adore history and that. I don't. I really like, I'm a very futuristic oriented. So I really like what the technology offers us, what the new world is offering us, and how we can communicate, how we can get the informations. I love it. I really love it. I think
Yeah.
the only problem is what the difference is between then and now is how much time do you invest in certain information? Because back then the information was so hard to get, you would invest a long time in one book.
Yeah.
You would invest a long time in one information. And now because you're oversaturated with informations, you don't invest that much time into these informations. And that makes the whole thing sometimes a little bit fiddly, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the best would be really to combine these kind of two worlds in a
Yeah.
way, you
And it
know?
can be challenging as well because you have a lot of contradictory information.
Oh,
Unfortunately, people
true.
saying this is true, and then somebody else saying, no, that's actually wrong, this is true, and so on and so
Yes.
forth. So, finagling your way around and managing to find out what works for
Mm-hmm.
you is
Yeah.
becoming more challenging in that sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, the reason we are here today is Ines has created a very gorgeous, stunning deck that I would like her to present and talk a little bit about because
Yeah.
it is definitely bringing us something new to the tarot sphere, somewhat out of the standards, though from what I've seen so far in the art, it is following a more Rider-Waite Smith
Yeah.
type theme. though it does have some really, I would say, gorgeous ways of going out of that box and presenting something different that still has the same tone, doing just a different artistical depiction. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the deck. What are we going to be seeing with the deck? What to expect with the deck?
Well, something crazy happened, and after so many years, I finally managed to create my own tarot deck, and I still cannot believe it, to be honest. I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, is this really here? Is it really, are my hands really touching this? Because it's very surreal. I had this wish for many years since I actually started doing tarot. I immediately, as I guess all of us tarot readers, we all want to have our own tarot deck. I think it's a universal kind of desire that we all have. But being a very bad painter, as you know, like horrific painter, I didn't do it, you know. So I finally now managed to create it with the help of modern times and modern technology and AI. Actually, this is a deck that I created together with artificial intelligence that was programmed to paint. So basically, you communicate with the artificial intelligence and you are creating these images together. Of course, you as a human being, as a tarot reader, are giving the input, the meanings, the all the human knowledge inside, and then the technology helps you to actually create it. So it's a beautiful symbiosis, I would say, of a human and a machine.
So this is definitely outside the standards of regular deck making, I would say, in a way, because usually people just get an artist or they're an artist themselves, whether that be digital photorealism or just paintbrushes and a canvas. So this gives a different tone to the deck, which is visible by the graphics which you'll be able to see on both mine and Ines's social media. I know you've created a special account for the deck as well, which the links will be in the description and everywhere we can find more images of the deck. So when we're talking about the idea behind the deck, what was it that triggered you to create this deck? I know, finding the program, and you had mentioned that you wanted to create a deck in the past. There were some attempts that didn't really go through. So when we're talking about this specific deck, what is your intention behind it? What are you hoping for the deck to achieve with people?
Yes, I really made this deck with intention. And the intention behind this is to awaken in each person that touches the deck, watches the graphics, uses the deck, that each person awakens their own infinite potential that we inside of us have. Just like the journey of the Fool, where the Fool from 0 to 21 awakens their infinite potential. And the Fool becomes the world, the guru, the teacher, the leader, the one that actually shows the way. So I want really the people, by using the deck and seeing the deck, seeing the images, to awaken this infinity inside themselves, that they can live a better life, that it inspires them to live a better life. That's really my intention behind it while I was doing it, while I was creating each image. And the name of the deck, that's why, is awakening the infinite. Awakening the Infinite Tarot deck. So, and it's very funny because AI, like artificial intelligence, you also have in awakening as a infinite I. So it's kind of
And
all
that
connected.
wasn't intentional. That was sort of
Yeah,
unintentional
yeah,
byproduct.
yeah. So
So,
the inspiration was really that, to make the world a better place for each person that's using it.
mhm. I know we talked about the fact of how the deck actually functions.
Mhm,
So I would really like you to present that to our listeners and watchers as well, because there
mhm,
is definitely decks that, you know, are more oriented towards love readings, or you have something that people find
mhm,
really useful for finances, or just something
mhm,
that's more shadow work, or something that's
mhm,
just, I would say, light and fluffy, just for,
mhm,
you know, maybe a daily message or something that will just cheer you up in the moment.
mhm,
So
mhm.
what category, or is there even a category that this deck would fall into, if you would have to kind of
Yeah, that's a very
quantify
good
it?
question. Very, very good question. I would say all these things can be found inside, because depends, of course, the questions and what the question, the client wants to ask. But basically, you can answer all human questions through it, or human conditions. And I like to say that this deck is for adults, not in the sense that it's for adults, that it has like nudity or that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean it's for adults, who are people who are adult enough, mature enough to answer the big questions, the deep questions, the uncomfortable questions, the shadow questions, the ones that are not really ch- ch- child themes or kids themes, for people who are ready to experience themselves and to learn their shadow side, light side, all this together combined. It's an adult deck. Some
Definitely.
images are very dark, and some are very light and fluffy and pinky and soft, and just like life is.
Yes.
I really wanted to capture all the life experience inside.
No.
Yeah.
And that's very true with the artwork that you have shown us so far. It really depicts both that duality, and some of the cards really being just super light and
Yeah.
innocent in a way, and some of them being more scarce of color, or there being a
Mm-hmm.
darker
Mm-hmm.
tonality to the card. So that's definitely a very big thing that I think a lot of the decks out there lack, because it's just one
Mm.
or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one or the other, which is, of course, it can be graphically very beautiful and very appealing, also
Mm-hmm.
to me personally. And I don't mind these kind of decks, and to have them, to use them or experience them.
Yeah.
I really like it all. I love cards. I love tarot. I love decks. I love oracle cards. But I really wanted to kind of input in each card, like in
Mm-hmm.
a USB, in a way, to input energy
Yeah.
inside of it. And this energy sometimes is very beautiful energy, sometimes is very ugly energy. And and I really hope this I achieve this.
Yeah.
When you see this some image that you say, okay, this is like really, even if I don't know tarot, this image really produces
Yeah.
something inside,
Yeah. Well,
and
it's
yeah,
just like life. There is
yeah,
a vastly different experience on a daily basis
yeah.
that you will be presented with. Some days will be better, some days will be worse, and that's the reality. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a wonderful representation of
Yeah,
the cards as well. As you know, it is what it is, you know.
yeah,
Sometimes, pardon my French, it's a shitstorm. Other days
yeah,
it's rainbows and unicorns.
absolutely.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's life. And the beautiful thing about tarot, it really teaches us the journey of the fool, the journey of life, and all these layers and everything what happens, and how to deal with different stages, different happenings, different problems, different achievements, different challenges, everything. And I really want, that's why I put also on the cover, I put the card of the fool, because I think the fool, for me personally, also is the center of the story. The fool that's traveling through all these stages of development as the centerpiece, the purpose of
Yeah.
I mean, tarot, we wouldn't have tarot if there was no Fool.
True
So I really wanted to give the Fool the cover, you know,
Yeah.
to say awaken your infinite with the start. You have to start to awaken the infinite.
Exactly.
Right?
Fool leads the way.
Fool leads the way. Yeah.
Exactly. So to get a bit more technical, I would like to know more about what just the deck quality when it comes to the cards, when it comes to what you're actually getting when you're getting the deck itself. So if you can tell us a little bit about that as well.
So yes, so the cards come in a hard box. So you are getting like a really beautiful box, very sturdy, very protected, a box where your cards inside will be very safe. So you get this beautiful box. When you open the box, inside the box you get a guidebook. You have actually a guidebook inside that teaches you the basics of tarot reading, the basics of how to read cards, and each card inside the description, a short description of each card, upright, reversed, and astrology of the card. So for everybody who is advanced level reader or just a beginner, this guidebook will be a valuable little guidebook that you can also carry with you at all times while you are using the deck, and you can actually learn from it also. So then inside you have these 78 cards, tarot cards, and I'm super happy with the quality also of the paper because it's quite a sturdy paper and sturdy card. Mine, which I'm showing right now in the video, are still not coated. They're not coated.
Laminated?
Yes, laminated. Thank you. Because this was a test print, but the ones, of course, the original ones that you will get, they all gonna be, of course, laminated, waterproof, so you can, you know, be very safe when you're using them. They're gonna last a long time. And on the behind of each card, I used a very classical kind of clownish jester romb. Is it romb in English?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would say like a diamond shape.
Diamond shape, yeah.
Would be
exactly.
Would be the easiest explanation. Pink
Diamond
shape. And it goes really well, especially with the box and the Fool card, and that being the premise of the entire story. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and of course, on the back, you cannot know if it's upright or reversed, which is actually
fully reversible.
How it should be.
Yes, exactly.
How it should be. And then come the images. And the images are versatile, as you said. They are really how I see the cards. Each card is really the expression of how I see them, even though they are a collaboration between artificial intelligence and myself. I used a program called Discord Midjourney, which is very new program, which paints, and you basically communicate with this artificial intelligence and you create these images basically together. And it's a very interesting exchange how you communicate, because the program is not perfect. So sometimes it makes the images easily, sometimes not. It takes time to learn from each other in a way. So it's a very metaphysical experience that I've experienced by working with this program. And I literally feel that it was a beautiful collaboration. Like there's this ghost in a machine, you know. I think there is for sure.
I mean, everything's possible. How far the technology has come, I would not be surprised if they've captured Casper and he's secretly painting somewhere in some computer. It would definitely be interesting.
So true. So true. So yeah, the images are versatile. There are some of them are very dark, some of them are very light. Some of them are harmless, but not really harmless. And some of them are very spooky, but not really spooky. Yeah, I'm very happy also with my court cards.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
They really, yeah. I can really personally say, and also objectively I can say, they have a character, very strong character. Yes.
And that's important, because a lot of the times we just get a bleak figure standing there, sitting on a throne or riding a horse or whatever, depending on the court card. And it's very difficult to differentiate anything, especially if there is very little mimic and facial expression. You don't really get a sense of what the card is supposed to mean. And where especially court cards are a very tough and difficult area for a lot of people that are trying to learn tarot, even for professionals sometimes, to decipher what the card is telling you, whether it's more of advice, whether it's more representing a person or a personality trait. Getting something like that where you get a bit more personality in the card is really amazing.
Absolutely. So I really wanted the court cards to have a very strong character. So the person who reads can immediately sense, okay, this one is like this and this one's like that, that it's easier to interpret, because we all know they're not easy to interpret, as you said. But what I find very inspiring in this whole process that was happening for me is actually through making the cards, I reminded also myself on certain experiences and certain situations that I experienced in the past few years or in the past 20 years, or through certain kind. It's like while I was doing the cards, it's like I had my own journey of the fool in a way, you know, because I was working a lot with this card of the Fool, and in one day, because I was looking at this card so much and dealing with the card so much, because I had to do preparation for printing and the deck, for the booklet, for the box, and etc., etc. And suddenly I realized the whole day I'm behaving like a fool, like a clown. The whole day I was literally in a clown energy. Because I was working with this card so much that it affected my behavior. And this is what, you know, this is what I want for people to experience. You know, that they can actually use these images to create something inside themselves.
Exactly.
And yeah, for me personally, I didn't mention previously when you asked me, but I worked as a clown for 3 years in children's hospitals in Red Noses International. I was there for 3 years, and I was educated for 3 years to be a clown, to experience the clown energy. What is the clown? What is the jester? What is the fool? You know, all of this archetype is very important to me. And I really feel like with the birth of this deck, my clown has been born again.
It was like a second awakening to the clown energy again.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm so grateful. I feel really grateful for that.
So if I had to ask what your favorite card was, I would presume the Fool. that was
you
number
would
one.
be very right.
Okay, so let's go for second favorite.
Second favorite. Ooh.
I got you there.
Okay. Give me a second.
Go through the cards. Go through the cards.
Such a hard decision. The second favorite. I have to say I really love all of them, but some of the images that were created, I just love them. Love. I'm gonna show you. Okay, 3, 4 favorites, huh?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm down with that, because I can never pick one single favorite. I'm the same way too. So
it's so hard, yeah. Okay. Here.
Especially when it's your baby, when you created it, it's difficult to say, oh, yeah, I love my child
I
Like
love
this
my
child
baby.
more than the other
Yeah,
child. Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
definitely. Okay, so regards to images, I really love how they turned out. The Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords, as you can see. Can you see them?
Yeah, this is me first time seeing this card as well, and I am blown away. Wow.
Oh wow, yeah, right.
That's one of
It's
the darker ones, and
it
it is
is.
absolutely gorgeous.
It is so beautiful, but so strong and so terrifying at the same
Yeah,
time. It really shows the struggle that the Eight of Swords has. The internal struggle is so visible in the card that I love how the image turned out. I love my High Priestess.
oh, she's gorgeous as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love how you can literally see how she's with one foot in the darkness and with one foot in light.
yeah,
I love that. I love the Ten of Swords.
yeah.
Ten of Swords, mind blowing, literally.
Yes, literally mind blowing because the head is exploding on the image. So yeah,
Yeah,
I can't get over that card for the
it is
life of
crazy.
me. Like since we spoke about that card and you told me the experience behind that card, I can't get over it. It's really, really amazing what you've done with it.
It's crazy. It's very crazy. But I don't think I ever saw such a crazy Ten of Swords. You
No,
know.
I've seen a lot of decks and a lot of different
Mhm.
depictions. Nothing
Mhm.
like that.
But this I can thank to the AI. You know why? Because I was trying for like 100 times to create the traditional kind of Ten of Swords, and it just didn't want to do it. It didn't. This program doesn't know how to count, so it's very funny. If you say 10, it doesn't know what's 10. So sometimes it makes 5 swords or 15 swords or 25 swords. I mean, it's insane. So I couldn't do 10 swords. So at the end, I had to put this philosophical idea into the description, and that's how I came up with this card, with this image.
And I
So
think that made it even better for that
I think
reason.
so too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it depicts
Definitely.
the idea behind the card. And it
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily have to contain any swords
yeah,
at all in the first place to be able to
yeah,
depict what the meaning
yeah.
of the card is in the first place.
Absolutely. So really to create with this program, you really have to know tarot. You
Yeah.
really have to know tarot. Otherwise, the images are not that easy breezy to make, you know.
Yeah.
So it's also tested my own ability as a tarot reader and a teacher, you know.
Yeah.
So I love it. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
love also the lovers.
Yeah. That's
I
one of
love the
the,
lovers.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, lovers who,
Yeah, the lovers. I love how this card. mm, this is the only one that as you've seen probably, this doesn't have the border here
yeah.
as the other ones, and that's deliberate because I really wanted, I wanted to have no borders regards to the lovers,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And I really wanted to create them as two nebulas, two galaxies colliding and embracing each other.
Yeah. It has this almost, to me, looking at the image, this sort of romantic Victorian feeling and meets some sort of
Mm.
space, as you said,
Mm.
nebula, Milky Way type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because the color usage is sort of like almost pastel, almost like very like romantic
Uh-huh.
Victorian, but then it just
Yeah.
kind of transcends that and just going into this
Yeah.
futuristic sort of aspect. So the best of
Yeah.
both worlds, I guess.
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very crazy. Very crazy. But for me, this was the experience of the lovers. This is the real experience of love. For me personally, it's first of all universal.
Hmm.
It's not limitless. It has no borders. It's basically, I think, what makes the universe spin what is the purpose of everything by basically, you know?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's much more than just two people loving each other. This is something much, the idea of love for me is much better, much bigger than that.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to depict it in the card, but also have them intertwined like actually two lovers.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I mean, you did a great job with that. I'm honestly going to say I'm in love with the deck.
oh,
How
thank
it
you
looks
so
like, and I've not even seen the full
yeah,
deck. Just
yeah,
every image that I'm seeing, even the eight of
yeah.
swords that you've just shown previously. That's another one of surprise cards that I haven't seen, and I'm like, wow, I like that. I like that. I
Oh,
like that you weren't afraid to go into the dark and not just made a fluffy deck. It's kind of a
mm,
best of both worlds. I like my
mm.
dark and gothic decks, but
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
also need that counterbalance and just something that's a bit more lighter, something that gives a bit
Oh yeah,
more hope in the darkness and
absolutely.
happiness. So when it comes to release dates and when it comes to where people can get the deck, what do you have to tell
Mhm.
us about that? When is the deck coming
So
out?
yes, the
Where can
deck
people get
is
it?
coming out in 15th of January. It's gonna be available for worldwide purchase. It's now available in pre-sale for the next 15 days. You can get the deck with discounted price during the pre-sale, which is 38 euros plus shipping. But then from the 15th 16th January, it's going to be just the regular price, which is going to be around 49 euros plus shipping. So it's kind of now it's a good time if you want to get the deck in pre-sale. You have this you can get it with a quite a decent discount. And I ship everywhere, also to the United States, or I have already some people in the States and Canada that I'm going to be sending to. So if anybody wants also from distant lands, no problem, it's available. You just send me email or DMs in my tarot mention.
Oh, we've lost Ines there. Let's see.